All right, mid-range with Zobel Network, fully implemented, the 4 components, mounted in a cabinet, set back up here. Let's try to go ahead and reset this and watch for these crossover points. Now, admittedly, I have, I'm not sure if I'll edit this video if I can, uh, move pieces around or not, but so I've been making a mistake and not watching it over 800 because it's actually the 800 to like 4500 range that I really wanted to concentrate on, was up in there. So that's where I really wanted to see if the Zobel network had made a difference. The only way I can tell now, since the Zobel network's on that mid-range, is to swap it out with the stock mid-range and see what happens. Show you something real quick I was talking about in a previous video. One of the reasons I don't like soldering directly on speakers is that oftentimes it heats this up so much that it can break. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this stock driver back in there. Well, not stock, but the one that I was running without the Zobel network. Let's see how the frequency response compares. This one sure goes in a lot easier. I will. If I do use Zobel networks, I might try them down by the crossover. I can make it cleaner. They're supposed to be better when they're up near the speakers, but I'm a neat freak. Even if I think about what's going on inside that cabinet, it would bother me every time I listen to them. For a bit, I'd probably get over it. Boo-hoo. Remember, this is the area that we're really looking at, we're comparing against, is from about here to here. No difference. No difference at all. All right. I think that's a wrap on my Zobel network experimentation. I think you reach a point. I think that they do work. It would take a lot of trial and error to dial in the right values. And the other thing is, I think that it's makes a bigger difference on the woofer than it does higher up. So I've read that actually, that it makes less of a difference on the mid-range and tweeter because the reactive impedance isn't as great as the frequency rises in those speakers. But it did change the characteristic of the woofer a little bit, which I liked. Flattened it out a little bit. So yeah, we're kind of back to kind of a, I guess, a point where I'm going to be calibrating what am I actually looking for out of this speaker, and will it be how should I say, just grateful that I made as simple as improvements as possible, you know, with as least amount of cost and effort, or do I want to just like totally try to take these things over the edge and make them flat and make them perfect? I don't know. Of course, there's always that desire, but boy, it takes a lot of tinkering, where you can hit a kind of an in-between sweet spot, have a very enjoyable set of DIY speakers, and you know, it's a lot less hassle, a lot less cost. So I'm just kind of showing you what changes the characteristic of it. Yeah, let's cut this off, and next video. What are we going to cover in the next video? Well, we should probably try to even up that top end, and maybe do a little bass. Let me point the camera up here. I was pointing up there. I think what we'll do in the next video is probably try to, we know the Zobel network, you know, that functioned on this woofer fine. It gave a clean response. This woofer has a higher sensitivity than the big Dayton driver did, so we'll leave this one in there for now. I think I'll probably leave them in there permanently. Yeah, Zobel network made a pretty good difference on this. Not huge, but it did flatten it out a little bit, especially in that mid-range frequency. And the closer we got, we could see it magnified it. From further away, it was actually pretty smooth. The tweeter is always hot, so we might try working with that a little bit and either attenuate it or try a different tweeter in there. The Zobel network for the mid-range, I don't even think it's really necessary at this point. I didn't see that big of a difference. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna try to get one measurement here, one last measurement of this region here, the bass and mid-range region. Well, I'll just sweep the whole thing, but I'll do it with the Omni mic on the Chromebook, just for just to get back to kind of like a baseline of where we're at right now across the whole frequency range. Okay, so we're going to take one last frequency response, and this will be the Jensen woofer with the Zobel network on it, the mid-range without Zobel, tweeter without Zobel, and it's 3 feet back. The computer's 3 feet back, picking up from its own mic, and we're at negative 15 dB.
Hi, and welcome to Dr. Mix. This is a signal test for you. Enjoy. If you want to know more about our mixing and mastering services, please visit us on drmix.com. See you later.
And thank you, Dr. Mix. Yeah, so now this is also, we have it the least weighted of all, which I don't think I've ever done, like just a baseline with that non-weighted type of appearance. Let's see what happens if we change this a bit. Here we go to smoothing factor. We had it at 50 before, or 0.5 was it? Yeah, 0.5. Let's see what kind of a difference that makes. It should just follow the same path, I would assume.
Hi, and welcome to Dr. Mix. This is a signal test for you. Enjoy. If you want to know more about our mixing and mastering services, please visit us on drmix.com.
I think that's as good as my frequency graph is probably going to get. I think that the next thing I'll do is I'll try to attenuate that tweeter, bring this area down, and see what happens when it looks like it's more in line with the rest of it. I'll do that in a minute. All right, so I'm going to try to wrap this up pretty quick. My battery power's going down on the phone, but I'm going to use a 2 ohm resistor, so a 20 watt 2 ohm resistor. And I'm just going to go between the positive, so it's going to run in series with this guy. So this is an 8 ohm 30 watt speaker, and what that's going to do is make it a 10 ohm speaker. So it might change the crossover frequency response a little bit, but the main thing that it's going to do is attenuate it. Okay, so we've got that mounted. Turn on the amp, make sure it's at our -15. Let's get Dr. Mix back running here.
Hi and welcome to Dr. Mix. This is a signal test for you. Enjoy.
Well, not at all what I expected. I really expected to see it knock down that.
If you want to know
Knock
more
down
about
the
our mixing and
sufficiency.
mastering services, please visit us on drmix.com.
That's very
See
interesting.
you later.
All right, well, you learn all kind of interesting stuff. The other thought I had was that I did get a different tweeter to try in here too. And this is a Dayton Classic Series 1 1/8 inch dome tweeter. It's like a $22 speaker. It looks pretty decent. It's supposed to have a decent frequency response, and the advertised sensitivity is a couple dB lower than this one. It has got really no waveguide at all. It kind of, the dome sticks out. It's got a chambered rear to reduce resonance. So the fact that it's trapped in here with this guy, and the back of the dome is creating frequency waves, and this is no doubt packed, so it should sound a little bit cleaner. I'm going to try to pop that in there and see what happens. All right, so I've got the new tweeter installed. It fit perfectly. The only thing I had to do was mark and drill 3 holes, mounting holes. And it just so happens they're right on the very, very inner edge of this tweeter. So I hope that if I do put this one back in there, I don't know if this one doesn't work or whatever, or improve it, then it would cover up those holes. If not, if this tweeter is a lot better, then maybe I'll just keep that one in there.
Hi and welcome to Dr. Mix. This is a signal test for you. Enjoy.
All right, so it's lower than that. So we'll go ahead and run it again and reset so we can see where it's at.
If you want to know more about our mixing and mastering services, please visit us on drmix.com. See you later. Hi and welcome to Dr. Mix. This is a signal test for you. Enjoy. If you want to know more about our mixing and mastering services, please visit us on drmix.com. See you later.
Well, this is probably as flat as it's ever been. I'm actually surprised to see the tweeters still so high up in here. And like I say, some tuning down here. I'd like to try to do some tuning, bass port tuning. This frequency point. Here's our frequency crossover points. About right in here at 800. And then again at 4,500. So actually right in there where it's making that handoff to the tweeter is where it starts to rise up. But the fact that the sensitivity is lower on the tweeter, it's not as high up in this range. So it did cut that out. So that's a good thing. If I could get that a little flatter, that'd be nice. Of course, I am kind of far away. We could try to run it closer, see what happens.
If you want to know more about our mixing and mastering services, please visit us on drmix.com. See you later.
Up close here, it gave us a real good representation of this little rise here. I might try a resistor on this one, see if I could bring it down a little. All right, so I've got my resistor on there now. Let's see if it changes this high-end frequency response at all.
If you want to know more about our mixing and mastering services, please visit us on drmix.com. See you later.
Pretty interesting. It did bring it down a little bit. We've got one rise here at our crossover point, which is right between 4,500 and 5,000. So from here to here, we've got a little bit of a rise. Then our other crossover point is at 800, right in this area. Just got a tiny little rise. Why we've got a suck out here, I'm not sure. Seems like it just did that. Let's try to clean, we'll wipe it and try to run it one more time. Well, I think probably the natural thing to do at this point would be to move it back to listening range and see what we're hearing from further away.
Hi and welcome to Dr. Mix. This is a signal test for you. Enjoy. If you want to know more about our mixing and mastering services, please visit us on drmix.com. See you later.
So I think this would probably be considered a fairly bright speaker, a neutral mid-range response with a bright high range. Extends down fairly well. Looks like we're just about 42 hertz. Is our tuning our kind of lowest point here? Let's see what it sounds like with a little bit of music on it.
You are positive, motivating force within my life. Should you ever feel the need to wonder why, let me know, let me know. Let me know, let me know. this love affair began. But if you feel for like I feel, confusion can give way to doubt. For there's times when I fall short of what I say. What I say I'm all about. But at your best, you are love. You are positive, motivating force within my life. Should you ever feel the need to wonder why, let me know. Let me know. My life is yours, and all because you came into my world with love so softly now. Speak softly, love, so no one hears us but the sky. The vows of love we make will live until we die. My life is yours, and all because you came into my world with love so softly. Rains and tears on the day, but in the sun, you got to play the game. When you cried in winter time, you can't pretend it's nothing but rain. How many times I've seen it. Without my vision, all of my heart, not be all else to me, save that thou art. Thou my best, all by day or by night. Waking or sleeping, thy presence my light.
give my heart. It will be complete. It will be my heart. We've only just begun to live.
Sorry about that.
My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart.
YouTube is crashing a little bit. DCD. Let's turn it down a little bit. Play one of our reference songs. Minus 20. Oh, it picked up from where it left off there. Sorry about that. Well, what kind of a jamoke is this guy? Let's go all the way back, shall we? You could hear this while we're well done. We've heard this 100 times.